Let me see if I can. Boom. See if that flashes.
Yep.
We're in. Paul Wilson.
Mike Ringley. It's the Mike Ringley Show.
Yes, right, that's right. With special guest Paul Wilson.
I don't know about special.
Well,
Maybe infrequent.
you're special to me, man.
Well, that's sweet of you. You're special to me, too.
Yeah, we go back a little ways. It's been a while since we've had this little chat. I think it was back in... God, I don't even know.
Was I
3 years ago?
Was it shooting Conjuring? It might have been 4. Might have been 3.
Yeah. Let's bring the mic up to you.
All right.
You can pull it to you.
Or I could just get right up on the
You
mic.
can do that too.
Yes.
I'm just waiting for the glass to shatter, which will be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'll be a fun sound effect. You don't have to post.
What about them vials, baby?
Hey,
Huh?
so I was in Knoxville when we started this movie last week, and everyone in the hotel, and every time I would stop and get gas, and they'd see the Florida plates, and they'd go, "Did you hear about our big football game?" And I went, I think the whole universe heard about that
even
game.
Alabama fans like, dang, bro, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Even they switching over to some orange.
What a fun experience for Tennessee.
Yeah, they're supposed to have the orange and black uniforms, I think, this weekend.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Who do they play this weekend?
I think it's Kentucky,
Okay.
maybe.
Regional showdown. That'll be fun.
I think it is Kentucky. I'm not 100%, but let me make sure. But we can, it don't matter. I think it is Kentucky. Hey, I'll just ask Siri. You know Siri?
I've heard of her.
Yeah. Hey, Siri, who does Tennessee play this weekend? I guess she'll tell us.
The Titans play the Texans on Sunday.
Man, that's the wrong one.
We're not talking pros.
Hey.
We're talking fun league.
Hey, Siri, who's the Tennessee Vols play this weekend? She didn't want to answer. Hey, Siri, who does the Vols play this weekend?
Tennessee faces Kentucky on Saturday.
I was right on.
at
Wildcats
7 p.m.
Vols.
Yeah. Okay, look here. So they're gonna wear orange and black. So what they do on their tickets,
And it's Halloween, so that's perfect.
what they do on their tickets is like if you're sitting in a certain row, it'll say you wear black, or if you're over here, it'll say you wear orange. You know what I mean?
Cool.
And that's what makes that checkerboard throughout the whole freaking.
That'll be fun.
100,000 plus.
That'll be
Halloween.
fun.
That's gonna be scary for Kentucky. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're going to tame those Wildcats, I bet.
So what movie you working on down in Knoxville?
It's a movie called Grounded it's a true story about a really interesting guy who was a pilot when he was 16 years old. Really lived a great young life doing some really interesting things. Was recruited by IBM, and in his early experience with IBM and then into the kind of the medical industry, he created a way to detect breast cancer down to 1 millimeter, and it revolutionized cancer detection. And then he decided to be a doctor. And at about 29, 30 years old, he went to medical school. And so this story picks up right when he arrives in his newfound career, basically his second or third career, by 30, to be a doctor. And I play kind of a narcissistic, arrogant surgeon that doesn't want him in the hospital. And his name is Dr. Straley, and David Straley is his name. And he's a really interesting guy. But he, through all of his, successes, and obviously he, as an overachiever, he was able to really help people, and in a lot of ways to the detriment and to the neglect of his family. So we see that in the movie too. One of his first patients is a young little girl that he wants to adopt because she's in a very difficult relationship. Tries to, and it's thwarted by the grandmother that takes care of the little girl. And then he goes on because apparently he and his wife can't have children. Right. Then they do have children, and he's head down doing his doctor job and kind of neglects his family. And then his wife develops cancer and she passes away. So it's really, and then he eventually makes up to his now grown daughters, and they forgive him. And then he runs into the little girl he tried to adopt again, and she's now 40 and doing well. So it's a very sweet little story.
Cool.
And Robert Taylor, who was the sheriff in Longmire, is the lead. So he plays Dr. Straley.
What do you do to get in character for something like this? I mean, how do you, you know what I mean? Like, do you get by yourself in a closet? What do you do?
Well, as the old saying goes in showbiz, when it's on the page, it's on the stage. So it's a good script. So that's the first start. Because my character's kind of an antagonist, if you will, and not a very nice guy, most of that's pretty clear. I tend to, when I approach a character, especially, it's fun to play bad guys. And, bad guys in their world, everyone else is wrong. It's their worldview, so it's kind of looking at it like that. They don't think they're bad. They think everyone else is just they're wrong. They have to do what I want them to do.
It's a good analogy.
So this for me, this process was, and having drawn a little bit from my experience of knowing some narcissistic surgeons, kind of taking pieces of these people that I've seen in my life and kind of then bringing it into what I want to do and finding little elements of me, Wow. And I think that's always a good thing for actors to do when they read a part or tear into a part. You want to find parts of you. So in this case, if the part that is me it's all bark and no bite, right? So he gets very furious because he doesn't get his way, but at the end of the day, he's frustrated. And I think all of us experience being frustrated, not being able to do things, and as we age, not being able to read a newspaper up close anymore, without glasses.
I know it all too well. It's happening slowly but surely.
Yes, part of the process.
Scary, man. I mean, my mind says I can still do a gainer, but chances are I'm probably going to the ER. But I ain't.
Well, I can show you how to stretch.
That's not going to keep me from it.
Right.
I'm still going to do it.
Yeah.
I'll still get out here and ride skateboards and do all that stuff. But in the back of my mind, I know now, I'm like, if I fall, bro, it's going to take a couple weeks to get over it.
When we have a concert, I usually spend about 3 to 4 weeks prior to the event.
You play in a band?
I don't really play. I play the audience. The musicians play the instruments.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just sitting back here watching, bro. I'm just.
I'm with you. I mean, I'll put on my rollerblades and get some endurance and stretch my legs. And in the last couple of years, when I put them on, it's like, should I wear knee braces and gloves just in case I fall and break a wrist? So it does creep in.
It's coming, bro. It's coming. It's I've been. This time was really cool down to Jonas. That was That's how you say that, right?
Janice.
Janice?
Tony Janice.
Janice sounds like something you get on your foot when you.
That sounds like we need to go to the podiatrist.
Yeah,
yes, for sure. Tony Janice, and that's an important
Janice.
spot because Tony Janice was the first commercial flight in America.
Okay.
And he left from right where we were and went about 400 yards.
Wow. So that was the most fun I've had since we've done this. In how many years? 5, 4, 6?
Yeah, 6-ish. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So, yeah, we don't have any plans of where it's going to be next, do we?
Well, we're getting courted by many potential venues, so we'll see. I think it's all as is usually the case. Once we kind of synchronize and harmonize our schedules, then we'll figure out where we're going to sing and perform. Yeah, I think that was probably our best event, especially considering, and I think I could speak for the rest of the team, the band. There's nothing like doing that music with a good crowd that not only gets it, but really you feed off of it.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
that's what performers crave, is that impulse, of really that it takes on its own personality when you're in a venue like that.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. And people, it was like a wave of people. I was like, holy shit, there's a lot of people out there.
1,200 or so.
Yeah, but it's crammed
Yeah.
in a little, it was crazy. Especially when you come down off of those winding steps of those. And I was like, oh, and I was the first one down too, bro. It's like, holy crap, dude, it's wild. It's going down.
It was great, and it was great to have Kyle there again and really have
Kyle,
the whole team.
Yeah, man, and Stokey, man, it was good to hang out with him. And He's awesome.
And how about Cassian? How about that?
Unbelievable.
He's a secret weapon.
Yeah.
That's the Wilson minivan beginning right there.
Oh my gosh.
And of course, Logan.
Yep.
So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's true. It's coming, isn't it?
We had 2 generations right there.
Dude, that little dude was rocking, man. Wasn't he?
He's got skills, but you know, he's got it in the genes, as they say.
Now, you've done the Conjuring with Patrick.
Conjuring 3, yes.
Conjuring 3, and
the devil made me do it.
Yeah, and he had nothing to do with your entrance of that, right?
No, in fact, I think when he called me, when the news really kind of broke that they were about to begin shooting,
Right.
It was like about April-ish or maybe late March of 2019, and he called and said, "Hey, man, you know, bring the family, come up to Atlanta if you can sneak away. We got a little pond, you know, New Line Warner Brothers they found a house for me. It's really cool. It's nice and quiet in Fayetteville." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Conjuring. We're going to start shooting Conjuring 3, like sometime in June." Oh, that's cool. All right, great. Well, let me figure it out. Hung up the phone on him, called my agent and said, "What are you doing? Whatever you're doing, stop. Here's what I want you to do. Find out what roles are possible for me to read for. I don't care. I don't want to let Patrick know. I don't care if it's, you know, would you like tea, sir? You know, something.
Yeah.
Because that would be really fun.
Yeah. Would you like some tea?
Yeah, something. Yes.
Some porridge.
I want to surprise him.
Yeah.
So a couple years prior, we had met the casting director for James Wan's movies, for Aquaman and all the Conjuring movies, Annie McCarthy, out in Los Angeles. And so my agent reached out to her and said, "Hey, can Paul read?" And she, "Oh, great idea. Perfect. Let's do it." So I read for a prison chaplain and a sheriff's deputy. Mm-hmm. And then I read, so I worked on those really hard. And in the script, you know, they give you sides when you audition, so you don't see the whole script.
Right. Yeah.
But you kind of know, considering this is the third in the franchise, and you kind of know where this is going. And I had heard that the story was based, I mean, it is based on a real case, the first case of a defendant in a murder case pleading not guilty by reason of demonic possession.
Wow.
And that book is called The Devil in Connecticut. So, yeah, once you get into that, right, and that was a real story. So I worked really hard on the chaplain, and it was a scene where he's on the phone in the jail with the defendant, trying to prevent him from committing suicide, and he calls Ed Warren, Patrick's character, to get help. You know, "I don't know what I'm doing," you know, and I think the other line is, you know, like, "We're just making it up as we go anyway." I mean, just try to keep him from getting hurt or hurting himself.
Right.
I worked on that for hours before I recorded it. And it was only 1 page. 3 lines. Really wanted it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that'd be cool. I'm on the phone with my brother. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Sent it in. And then I did this deputy, which I think was a page or 2. Sent that in. And then my agent calls us, where's Carl Glotzel? Or where's Earl Glotzel? And I went, it's 1 line. I don't want to do 1 line. I can call Patrick and say, "Hey, give me, you know, can I audition for someone and just do 1 little line? You know, I want to do these. I want to do the chaplain or the deputy. Yeah. I don't want to do that. Just do it. Just do it."
Right.
So the script said Earl. And I'm like, and I think I said this to my agent, I don't even look like an Earl.
I mean, you could.
It's interpretive. So
yeah, it's argumentative right there.
Right.
We can
debatable. So then I did it, and I think the line was something like this. The line was after his kid in the scene. Earl's son is suffering from signs that may be possessed. He may be possessed, and I don't know what's going on. I'm just an electrician. I'm just a normal dude. So I think the line was, "He can't take much more of this." That's it.
That's it.
1 line.
I was convinced.
So
I mean, you had me, man.
And it's the beleaguered father, and I didn't know the context, and you only get a couple pages, you know, in the sides. So then I called Patrick. I'm like, "Do you have your script?" He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Conjuring script." Like, go to page 19. Who's Ted? He's like, "There's no Ted in the script." Okay. Well, who's Earl? Paul, there's no Earl in the script. What are you looking at? I'm like, my agent did it again. Wrong script. I mean, what the heck?
Are you kidding?
And then Patrick goes, wait. Ted is Ed.
Ed.
Earl is Carl. I'm like, who's Carl? Carl's the dad.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I just sent the audition. What? You just auditioned for this? I'm like, yeah, it's done. It's already over. I want to see it. I'm like, why? It's done. So then sent off, as actors have this kind of love-hate relationship with auditions, where, and if I think I like to approach it like I've already played the role. If I get it, it's a bonus.
Right.
When you audition, you send it off. It's just like fishing. It's out there. You might get a bite. You might get your bait taken, you know?
Gotcha.
So 3 days go by. I start to text Patrick. Nothing. I'm like, well, he must be busy, or maybe he's traveling. 4 days go by. I'm like, well, I tried. Then I get an email. Congratulations, we want you to play Carl Glotzel. We need you here for 19 days. Da-da-da-da. I'm like, 19 days? I thought it was one line. Bunch of scenes.
Yeah,
really fun.
It's insane.
So
bro.
then I call Patrick, and I'm like, hey, guess what? I'm in your movie. He goes, yeah, I just found out. Patrick tells this story on Seth Meyers where he's looking at these auditions, and he goes, hey, that's my brother. So thanks to Peter Safran, who cast me with Michael Shavs, who was wonderful, great director, and then Anne McCarthy. It was probably next to Big Stone Gap. That was the first movie I did with Patrick. You know, about an hour away from where we are right now.
Right over this hill, actually.
Right over that hill.
Yeah.
Dodging a couple deer on the way because it's fall. So that was the first. That was 2014. So to do this again with him, you know, and we hadn't really, the last time we spent more than a couple weeks together, you know, we were in high school. So
that's crazy.
And then so we were able to stay on Wilson Road and, you know, my dad's childhood home when we shot Big Stone Gap. And now to be able to do that again with him just outside of Atlanta was a lot of fun.
Mm. That's insane. It really is. And so I have some questions from people who, let me see if I can pull them up here.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Let's see.
Yeah,
because I put that out, said I was going to interview this guy. And, look here. Let's call him. You want to call him Young Cooper.
Okay.
And this is, let's see what happens.
You want to FaceTime him? That might be too much.
I don't know if he can handle it.
Hello.
What's up, man?
Oh, what are you doing, House?
You are on live, not live, but I'm going to edit it. We're sitting here talking to Paul Wilson.
Oh gosh, the man, the myth, the legend.
More like the myth.
Yeah, and I don't know that you are able to hear him, but if you have a question,
Right now.
huh?
No, I cannot hear him.
You can't hear him.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Paul?
Hey.
Okay, can you FaceTime?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll FaceTime you. Is that? Let me see if I can accept this. Hang on. It's coming through another one. I don't know. What the heck?
I'm not very technical advanced myself, so.
Okay, let's see what's happening. It's coming through over here. I'm going to decline that one.
Well, hang up then try it again.
That's fine. He just hung up and he's going to try it again. And I'll let you have the phone. And maybe you can, I don't know that you can, let's see if he does it. And while you're doing that, I'll check these cameras because they have a tendency to go off.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so that would be just stupid if we...
This will be part one, yes.
yeah, if we film this whole thing. And it's... Because I have some more questions from folks who... Bruh, you better be calling, man. He probably getting cleaned up. Something. So I don't even... Here we go. FaceTime. Let's try it. Feel my beard.
I like your beard.
Thank you, bro.
How long does that take?
Yeah, it took a while.
Okay.
What's up, man? I'm gonna hand the phone to...
Check out that beard, House.
Yeah, it's up.
It's biblical.
I shaved mine off for my Halloween costume.
Okay, what are you gonna be?
Well, I wasn't this time, but I didn't really like the way my headpiece was working out.
I got you.
So I'm going to go with Lurch.
Lurch, okay, Lurch. Listen, I'm gonna hand you to the Conjuring, not Earl, but
Carl.
and you can ask him some questions. All right.
Okay.
All right. Here you go, buddy. While you're doing that, I'm
I
checking.
thought you were going to go as Steven Seagal.
Yeah, well, I don't have the black hair anymore, House.
Well, I think they have wigs for that. Come on, you can do it.
Yeah, I could, but then Pete might come after me. Let me get pulled over here so I don't run in.
Okay, I'll stand by or sit by. How you doing otherwise?
Okay, doing great. So, saw that you were in town and went out mowing playing golf.
Yes, I had to. When you drive 14 hours, it's important to exercise. So that's my exercise, to get out there on the hills at Lonesome Pine Country Club.
I'm sure that just killed your soul too, didn't it?
It's really challenging just to get focused.
It's good to be home, and the weather has been nice.
Weather's been nice. It's always good to come back to Wilson Road. Yep, and see my buddy. So.
Right. Well, you got a great location. Are you at Mike's house right now?
Yes, look around. See how beautiful it is?
Yeah, I know where he lives. I've never been to it. He hasn't formally invited me to come see you.
Well, you're invited now, so there you go.
Come to his house.
He just officially invited you. So.
There you go, son.
So how long are you going to be in town?
I'm actually headed back to set after this, and then I'll come back for probably 24 hours and then head back to Florida.
Wow. So you're in Knoxville.
I'm shooting in Knoxville, so hour or so away. Yep.
Right. I know you can't tell me, or can you release anything going on?
Yeah, it's I was telling Mike, it's a true story. The movie's called Grounded, and it's a true story about a guy who was a pilot when he was 16 and then worked for IBM and developed technology to identify breast cancer inside of 1 millimeter, which revolutionized cancer detection. And then he became a physician, and his character is played by Robert Taylor, who was the sheriff in Longmire. So it's a nice little true story about a really incredible guy named David Straley from Michigan, who did, obviously is an overachiever, who did some wonderful things to help humanity and people of all kinds. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
It was nice to be able to come home close to home.
Oh yeah, I had not been to Knoxville more than just kind of driving through. So to be able to be there and kind of see that fun little town was great. Of course, I was there in the glow of the big win, over Bama. So that was.
I say you were home during that time.
I was in Knoxville right after that. So that Monday, it was like, have you heard about our big game? I think the entire galaxy now has heard. So I understand you have a question. So let's hear your question.
Oh, I do. I have a question.
Yeah. Well, we're taking questions from people here on our little show, on the Mike Ringley Show.
I guess my question was, what are you working on in Knoxville?
Well, there you go. Yes.
Yeah.
Rhoda Mitchell, if you know that actress, she's also in the movie. And a guy named Tom Amandez, who's done a lot of stuff, all the way back to like Spin City and Scandal, and really good cast. And my friend Bob Brown is the director, writer, and producer of the movie with the real David Straley. So should be a nice little inspiring story that I think the world will see about this time next year, or maybe a little sooner, maybe springtime.
Okay. I'm still mad at you for not letting me come up and meet Michelle Pfeiffer. You kept her all to yourself, House.
Yeah, well, can you blame me? Can you blame me?
Twist your arm. I see how you are.
No, that was, that's another thing too that we're experiencing with, I shot Nixon for the First Lady with Michelle and Aaron Eckhart. What was that? A year ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, spring of last year, and we were just coming out of COVID, right? So she, that's the one thing I really miss about working in the movie business is that, we always describe it as like summer camp, and everyone's kind of trapped in the world that they're creating, and for a couple weeks at a time. Well, during COVID, everyone's masked up, and people were kind of not allowed to socialize, so it became much more clinical, for lack of a better phrase. So, and she did her stuff and popped in and popped out. So, next time.
Yeah. Well, is Mike giving you a ride in that 1930s Ford that he found?
No, but we did look at it. And I think we have someone else coming. Here, I'm good seeing you. I'm going to give it back to Mike.
All right, man. Be good. See you. Love you.
So what are you doing for Halloween?
Don't know. Maybe Moses. Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, I see you, old buddy.
If you go somewhere, you don't mind hanging out with Lurch
Okay, Lurch.
on Saturday.
Yes, sir. Well, be good, buddy. See you, man.
Take it easy.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay.
We're back live.
There'll be a lot of editing there. It's okay, though. We have one from Miss Shelley Bell. Does that ring a bell?
No, but it should because her name's Belle.
Right.
Right.
But
you go,
anyway,
Shelley.
she's from she's from the UK.
Oh, yes, of course. Of course I know who
Yeah,
Shelley Bell is.
And
Of course.
her background photo is oral.
Oh, one of those. A Patrick nut.
Yeah, she's cool. I like her. She's one
Awesome.
of my friends on here, and
Awesome.
she follows us when we go play music. And but I thought she had a question from the UK.
From across the pond.
He was brilliant as Lyle in Big Stone Gap.
Hey! You saw Big Stone Gap? Why, by God, that was a good one.
And how lucky you are to be interviewing your friend. Yeah, she says. And with an accent. Give me an accent. Give me the...
What part of England is she from?
I don't know.
Well, let's just do a little bit more of a Queen's English.
That would be a lot of fun, monsieur, Mike.
That's a little French.
Not mate, but Mike. Michael, I don't know.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go with it.
Go with it, yeah. I would have asked what roles he really likes to play, and would he like to do more with Patrick?
Let's start with the back and go forward. Yes, of course.
Absolutely.
There's nothing like that because we can really surprise each other and really have fun with each other. And we've been doing that since we were kids, in high school and plays and stuff. So that's, I'd love to do as much as we can together.
Mm-hmm.
The roles I like to play bad guys, Shelley. I have always fancied myself as a bit of an Alan Rickman fan.
Nice.
But bad guys are fun, as I think a lot of actors will attest.
I think I could do a pretty good bad guy.
Sure you could.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure you could.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've really enjoyed playing Richard Nixon. I played him twice now.
I was going to ask you to do that, so I don't have to now. But
There you
ahead.
go.
Give me some Nixon.
One thing about Nixon is very physical. He locked right in on you. He'd hunch over. And he would use his finger and point. I'm not a crook. America deserves to know. That was fun because
That's crazy.
Nixon was a character that was larger than life, and wherever you are politically, he was approaching that role was difficult because I have impersonated him since I was 15 years old.
Who else can you do?
When I was a kid, I would read the high school announcements as Johnny Carson.
Dang!
That was always one of my favorites because, true story, the voice just fell right there.
My God.
And if you can do Johnny Carson, then you can do Ronald Reagan because it's just a little lighter. And, well, he was,
Dang,
part of the soundtrack of my life. So, yeah, I would read the news.
That is creepy, kind of cool.
And they're all kind of in the same wheelhouse. But to play Nixon in a, with Michelle Pfeiffer and Aaron Eckhart and Judy Greer and this incredible cast of the First Lady.
Dang, I need to have, I need, just this quick thought, I'll let you finish. We need to go to a drive-thru, bro, and you got to be one of those characters and order something.
I've done that before.
Have you really?
And then there's my other favorite voice, which I need to kind of get ready for. The dude abides. The great Sam Elliott.
Oh, my God.
It's a little late in the day. I'm better in the morning with that.
Yeah, I got you, yeah.
But to play that character, to play a historic character is really great, Shelley. It's the hardest part is making him real. So when I approached that role, because it was very grounded in the world that is the White House, and it was that portion of the First Lady was about kind of Gerald Ford's rise, meteoric rise from congressman from Michigan to president in 48 months or so. So, but I needed to be real with it because I could caricature it all day. But then, I met Rich Little once, and
my
Rich
favorite.
Little's one of the, probably the best, if not one of the best of all time. And everything was meant to be entertaining and funny.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to be funny. I wanted to be real, and I kind of approached it like Nixon, again, wherever you are politically, he was somebody's husband, somebody's dad, somebody's granddad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
People loved him, so I tried to make him as real as possible and live in that world that was created so well.
Dude, you sent me the, I guess your, the audition.
Yes.
And there for a split second, I lost you out of it. You was out and Nixon was in. I was like, holy crap, dude. That's when I knew that you was going to get this part.
Well, the
'Cause
writer...
at the time, you didn't know he was going to get it.
No.
I was like, bro, you a shoe-in, bro. Because you just turned into him.
Well, I mean, thank you. The funny part was the writer, who's a friend of mine who created that show, reached out and more or less we were texting, and he says, do you know anyone who could do Nixon? And I was like,
Me, bro.
maybe. So then I get the side, which is, therefore I resign the presidency, effective at noon tomorrow. The famous,
God, dude, that's spot on, bro.
Sorry. And so I studied it on YouTube and kind of got his physical, because I'm more of a physical actor, and kind of got that down and, stay in frame and looked at the YouTube videos. Thank God for YouTube, because actors a while ago didn't have that to study.
Right. Yeah.
But that was, then I reached out to him and said, there you go. There's your Nixon. And I didn't hear anything. I'm like, oh, well, I guess that didn't work. Again, but 24 hours or so later, I'm out cleaning the pool. My daughter comes out with a phone. Dad, it's Sunday morning. Who's blowing up your phone? I'm like, give me my phone. It's like 16 calls missed.
Wow.
323, that's Los Angeles. That's L.A. 404, that's Atlanta. And next thing you know, they're like, okay, we want you to play Nixon. Can you be here tonight?
Wow.
So
Tonight?
I hit the road that night. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. 6-hour drive.
That's incredible. That's incredible. When I was cast for Utopia, do you remember Utopia?
Yeah.
Out in California, they called and said, "Hey, we need you like that. We've already got everything set up, and we need you at the airport in the morning." I was like, "In the what?" And so I was scrambling, and I had to go buy clothes with no logos,
Right.
because I was supposed to go on the set and blah blah blah. So it's immediate, and I hate flying, dude. So I'm here, and I've got everything's paid for, done. Here's your tickets, emailed them to you. Everything's done. You're going to L.A. in the morning. And I'm like, oh my God, this is really happening. So I get out there, of course, and spend a week or whatever, and then they canceled the show, and I'm back home. So yeah, that was my whatever. But that was fun, dude, just to get the
There'll be more of those.
Yeah.
There'll be more of those.
This is from Amanda Smith.
Amanda. Hi, Amanda.
If he could pick only one, to do for the rest of his life, which would it be? Acting, singing, music, or the media production company? I'm such a huge fan of his and Patrick's.
I like that you listed me first.
Yeah.
Good move.
Just watched The Conjuring last night for the 100th time.
Oh, we got to send her something for that.
Also, do you have a favorite movie that you've done? Thanks, Mike.
To the first question, I'm the walking hat rack, and I think part of that is rooted in growing up in the church singing, growing up modeling, growing up acting, and then having a legendary father as a newsman and a mother as a professional musician.
Yeah, they're awesome.
We were already exposed to all levels of kind of using your body as an instrument or being creative. So for me to choose is impossible because I like doing it all. Right. And I think especially today with so many entertainment choices and so many opportunities to get involved in any level. I mean, I'm also a graphic artist, so frequently I'll draw my own storyboards and kind of figure out what I want to do visually before we even turn a camera on.
Did you take that in school, graphic arts?
No.
I did, so that's fun.
No, I think in 9th grade or 10th grade, I had a drawing class. That was a lot of fun. But I was drawing since I was little.
Yeah, me too. I always I mean, I guess we didn't have the cell phones and we
Right.
we didn't have none of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like it all. And it's the only job I would, if I could get paid to do, that's the number one job is dad.
Right.
You know?
I agree. Well, man, I know you got to go to Knoxville, and love you. Thank you for coming,
Thanks for having me, buddy. Anytime.
and we'll do this again.
Yeah. And let's get going
Yeah.
on our next gig.
Yeah. We're out. See
Be
you,
there.
buddy. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.